You're watching the news on Mirror now. I'm Amita Balachandra. Let's take a look at the top headlines. No mercy for the beast who brutally raped Nirbhaya and left her to die. Supreme Court upholds the death penalty.
लेकिन सही है, आज सच्चाई की जीत हुई है। एक जिस तरह से हिंदुस्तान में रेप बढ़ रहा है, उस पर एक ये करारा तमाचा है।
कलेक्टिव कॉन्शियस ऑफ दी सोसाइटी अगर शॉक करती है तो रेयर अरेस्ट और रेयर इवेंट में आता है, तो उसमें लेते हुए ऑनरेबल सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने जो हाई कोर्ट की जजमेंट थी डेथ पेनल्टी की, उसको अपहोल्ड किया और इनकी अपीलों को डिसमिस कर दिया है।
The Supreme Court sets an example with Nirbhaya's verdict, says the rarest of rare crime warrants nothing short of the death penalty.
जैसे कहते थे लोग कि मैं निर्भया की तरह तुम्हें कर दूंगा, निर्भया की तरह मार दूंगा, तो आज उनको भी जवाब मिला कि मैं निर्भया की तरह अगर किसी के साथ करूंगा तो निर्भया की तरह हमें फांसी की सजा भी मिलेगी।
Nirbhaya's mother welcomes the verdict, says it will serve as a lesson to potential rapists.
I will not lie today also, potholes cannot go overnight. There are many other agencies working with us. Whatever roads have been taken up for resurfacing, renovation, all those roads will be pothole free. A lot many roads have come up through the complaints which were heard from the citizens last year. Those roads have been taken up.
And a Mega Mirror now exclusive. We follow Shiv Sena Yuva Wing leader Aditya Thackeray on his rounds of the city and ask him if the city is rain ready. Straight up to our top story, the 5-year-long wait ends. The verdict is finally out. The brute who raped and mutilated Nirbhaya will be hanged by the neck till death. The apex court has refused to show any mercy to Nirbhaya's rapist. A special Supreme Court bench hearing the case upheld the death term passed by the Delhi High Court. The rapist had appealed against the death penalty, but the Supreme Court observed, and I quote, aggravating circumstances outweigh mitigating circumstances in the case. Offence created tsunami of shock. Nature and manner of the crime devastated social trust, falls in the rarest of rare category warranting death penalty. Convicts treated victim as an object of enjoyment with single purpose of ravishing her. Victim's dying declaration is consistent. Offence has been proved beyond doubt and corroborated. Scientific evidence like DNA profiling of victim and accused proves to the hilt about their presence at the crime spot, unquote. Extremely emotional moment for Nirbhaya's parents as well. Nirbhaya's parents saying that the verdict will serve as a lesson to the entire nation and that this is not the end of the fight against crimes on women. Listen in.
आप लोगों को हाथ जोड़ के नमस्कार करती हूँ और बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देती हूँ आप सभी लोगों को। आज 2012 से आप लोग पूरा समाज, देश विदेश से आप लोग हमारे साथ हमारे मुहिम में जुड़े रहे। 2012 में निर्भया को कोई नहीं जानता था, हमें कोई नहीं जानता था। आप लोगों ने निस्वार्थ भाव से हमारा समाज, हमारे समाज के बच्चे, लड़के लड़कियां, सब लोगों ने निर्भया के क्राइम के, जो निर्भया के साथ क्राइम हुआ उसके खिलाफ आप लोगों ने आवाज उठाई, उसके लिए लड़ाई लड़ी और एक ही नारा था कि निर्भया को इंसाफ दो और उन मुजरिमों को फांसी दो। जिस दिन को हम लोगों को बेसब्री से इंतजार था, आज वो दिन आया और एक ऐतिहासिक फैसला भी आया। मैं सबसे पहले आप सभी देशवासियों को, देश के बच्चों को, लड़कियों को, सबको बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देती हूँ। आप लोगों के साथ से आज हम अपने मुहिम में कामयाब हुए और यहाँ तक पहुँचे और हम यही उम्मीद करेंगे कि आगे ये लड़ाई यहीं ख़त्म नहीं हुई। हम लोग आगे भी मिलके अपने सिस्टम के खिलाफ, अपने इस क्राइम के खिलाफ आवाज़ उठाएंगे। मैंने उसी टाइम कहा था, आज भी यही सुबह भी कही कि वो जो घटना हुई थी हमारे समाज के लिए, हमारे शासन प्रशासन के लिए, हमारे सिस्टम के लिए एक चुनौती थी, एक शर्मसार दाग था। लेकिन आज ये जो फैसला भी आया है हमारे समाज के लिए एक संदेश है और ऐसे प्रकृति के जो लोग हैं उनके लिए एक सबक है। आज जिस तरह से कोर्ट में जज साहब ने फैसला पढ़ा, एक एक चीज को पढ़ा, तो मुझे यही महसूस हुआ कि देर जरूर है मगर अंधेर नहीं है। बस कोशिश हम करेंगे तो हमको चाहे हमारे जैसे और लोगों को भी इंसाफ जरूर मिलेगा और हम अपने मंजिल तक जरूर पहुंचेंगे।
No mercy for Nirbhaya's rapists as the Supreme Court upholds the death penalty. Let's also listen into some political reactions that came through after the verdict.
I'm happy that the verdict has been upheld, and I wish it had come sooner, but now that it's come, I'm happy. The thing is that, in this 5 years is not a long time by legal standards in India. Some cases, I know one murder case which has just been decided after 34 years. What I have done is, in which women can get better justice, is to start one-stop centers called Sakhi. Now these are 150 centers now, and we are trying to get up to 600. And when women get anything from molestation, stalking, rape, domestic violence, kuch bhi, any problem with them, they can go to these one-stop centers and they will be provided free legal service, free police service, psychiatrists, doctors, nurses, and hundreds of women now are going to them. So this is one big step that we've taken.
बिल्कुल सही है। जिस प्रकार का ये हादसा था और देश के इतिहास में शायद ही किसी महिला पे इस प्रकार का अत्याचार हुआ हो कि जिसने पूरे देश को हिला दिया और सख्त से सख्त इंसान के आंखों में भी आंसू आए और गुस्सा पैदा हो, इस प्रकार की ये घटना थी। पूरा देश उससे हिल गया था और मतलब जज के आंखों में भी पानी आए, इस प्रकार की ये घटना है। और निश्चित ही निर्भया को मरने के बाद भी कहीं न कहीं न्याय इस फैसले से मिलेगा और उनके जो माता पिता है उनकी भी यही अपेक्षा थी। उन्होंने तो यह कहा है कि इससे भी कोई सख्त अगर सजा है तो वो मिलनी चाहिए। और समस्त महिला वर्ग की ओर से मैं ये कहना चाहूंगी कि कम से कम ऐसा वर्डिक्ट आने के बाद अब तो महिलाओं पे अन्याय अत्याचार होने बंद होने चाहिए। ये जो गैंग रेप्स है और इस प्रकार की जो मानसिकता हो रही है कि सिर्फ रेप करना ही नहीं मगर छल करना, शरीर के साथ खिलवाड़ करना, ये कहीं न कहीं रुकना चाहिए।
In fact, immediately after the verdict, we also spoke to Kiran Bedi over the phone line. Listen in.
Finally, justice delivered. It's a very powerful message while the brutality of the crime was still in the memory of people. So it has an effect when the crime, you can link the crime with the ultimate punishment, has a good preventive deterrent effect. I think we made a collective headway in all directions. What we must continue to make a headway is in all directions, which it includes parenting, which includes schooling, which includes neighborhood watchers. I think social leadership, besides police reforms and judicial expeditious trials. We have to, because you never know what prevents and what works. Prevention must be focused along with the response, effectively professional response system. When you bring in the police, you're only bringing a reaction and a response. But there's a prevention to a limited extent. The real prevention is in every home. The real prevention is in every school. The real prevention is every neighborhood. The real prevention is every university and college. The real prevention is the teacher. So you're talking about the police. Police has a prevention role. But and of course, they've done an excellent work in very good investigation by which the Supreme Court had not an iota of doubt that they deserved collective hanging. That is true. There is a big divide between urban and rural policing, and rural policing also being very inadequate, just as there's a big divide between urban reporting and rural reporting. So it's the distance of the area from mainstream and away from the hub of exposure has its own impact. So therefore, just as being in Delhi media and being even in Pondicherry makes no news for you. It's like where you are. So it's important that, but there's a lot of work to be done, particularly in rural policing. Well, absolutely. You're talking about using of technology in maintenance of records. Yes, the technology usage must multiply within the state and within interstate. That's true. Absolutely, you're talking of huge modernization and technology-driven policing, which also means back to state police budgets. Every policeman costs the exchequer. It's all about the budget. How much priority, even if it's a priority, how much budgetary allocation would you give to the police and home? I think that's the key. I 100% agree with you. So, but the question is, how much money do you allocate? You need today much more money than it's all about infrastructure. This is infrastructure. This is called security infrastructure. Yes, it's all about money allocations and even utilization. And next is technology driven, so that you have technology driven solutions which may be speedier, more skilled, and immediate, the immediacy, the urgency. So I think the question is leadership. It's back to leadership. Remember, every state is run by its individual chief minister, and the capability of that. Two people are critical in every state administration. One is the chief minister, and the second is the chief secretary. It requires more integrity. Everything has integrity levels, and that is dependent on the political leadership. Integrity is directly linked with the quotient of integrity at the political level. That's the key. And everybody varies. You ask me, everybody varies in their integrity quotients at the top elected. Every chief minister has his own integrity quotient. It's as safe as its people are. It's as safe as the people's character is. You travel overseas, you're all alone by your bus, but by the driver, but the driver doesn't do this, what happened to Nirbhaya. It's as safe as the kind of people we create, as the kind of people we nurture, the kind of people we educate, the kind of people we upbring. So it's as safe as the kind of...
Activists, in the meantime, who've been voicing their demand for the strictest punishment for the convicts to set a precedent, are certainly happy. Here are some reactions coming in.
आज सुप्रीम कोर्ट के जजमेंट पे गौरव हो रहा है कि जजेस ने जो है महिलाओं की सेफ्टी के लिए हिंदुस्तान में इस डेथ पेनल्टी को अपहोल्ड किया है। पहले तो डर लगा कि शायद ये स्प्लिट जजमेंट में कहीं कुछ और ना आ जाए, लेकिन सही है, आज सच्चाई की जीत हुई है। एक जिस तरह से हिंदुस्तान में रेप बढ़ रहा है, उस पर एक ये करारा तमाचा है, एक कड़ी रोक है, क्योंकि अगर आज डेथ पेनल्टी निर्भया के रेपिस्ट को नहीं दी जाती तो ये हो जाता कि महिलाओं को कोई सेफ्टी देने वाला नहीं है, प्रोटेक्शन देने वाला नहीं है, और वकील जो है वो किसी चीज को तोड़ मरोड़ के सामने रख देंगे और बड़े से बड़ा खूंखार रेपिस्ट बच जाएगा। आज न्याय की जीत हुई है, कानून की जीत हुई है, और सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने डेथ पेनल्टी देके ये साफ कर दिया कि वो देश की महिलाओं के साथ है, देश की बच्चियों के साथ है।
The Delhi Commission for Women welcomes this particular verdict. It is something which was very important. The Supreme Court today, by giving death sentence to all the rapists of Nirbhaya, they have in a way emboldened all the Nirbhayas in this country and given a very tight slap to all the rapists. This was something that was needed. It was the need of the hour. A very strong message has been delivered by Supreme Court that if anybody rapes a woman, it will not be taken lying low, and the Supreme Court and the country would support Nirbhayas.
Finally, Supreme Court of India has delivered the justice, which is historic justice. I think today nation will know that there is justice for women in this country. All 4 men who have wronged Nirbhaya Jyoti Pandey will be given the severest punishment in our law. I feel that we have really today won the battle for justice for women. I think I really am with the parents of Nirbhaya, because they have gone through 5 years of excruciating, the feeling, the emotion. Every day they were dying, sitting in the court, listening to the kind of argument that was coming. I feel that women's movement today has really conveyed the message to nation.
Well, the Supreme Court has applied its principle of rarest of rare cases, the facts of the case. and come to the conclusion the capital punishment was warranted. And I'm sure the court has gone into all the factors. You can't go by people's sentiments in this matter, by certain principles. The women's safety lies in other factors. Question here is narrow question. What is the punishment to be imposed on those people who have been convicted of murder? Is that case falls in the category of rarest of rare? Then it's a different matter. If it doesn't, different conclusion follows.
Now, not surprisingly, the defense lawyer AP Singh expressed disappointment over this verdict.
समाज में मैसेज के लिए किसी को फांसी नहीं दे सकते। पनिशमेंट का अर्थ है, पनिशमेंट का मतलब है सुधार, उसे सुधारा जाए। महात्मा गांधी के सिद्धांत की तो धज्जियां उड़ गई। महात्मा गांधी जी ने कहा था नॉन वायलेंस, अहिंसा होनी चाहिए, अहिंसा है। ह्यूमन राइट्स की तो धज्जियां उड़ गई। जीने का अधिकार है, जो जीवन देता है वही जीवन ले सकता है।
The 5-year-long wait ends there. Supreme Court upholds death penalty. But 5 years after Nirbhaya case, Mirror now does a ground check. This is what we found. Women across India continue to feel unsafe.
Half of the population, if we see, is women, and if there is no safety for women, then I don't think so that there will be any progress or any growth in our country.
As a student, I'm very happy with the verdict that all the 4 rapists are to be hung.
The concept of fast track courts is somewhere lacking over here, and the family of the victim has to wait so much and go to the courts and wait for the hearing and the decision. So this verdict, nevertheless, it has came late, but it is for the good of the society.
So I feel this is a correct thing they've done, and this would have done in the before, because they've taken a long time to decide and say they should be hanged now.
I think it should have done before only. They have taken so long time to decide.
I think this is really good. I don't think these people deserve to live because they can't respect life clearly, and they've also shown that they have no remorse for what has happened. So I think this is a good decision.
A historic verdict which we were all waiting from for 5 long years, and we can say that now we can believe the law, and this is something which was needed so that there is something like people get scared.
I feel death sentence is a very short-term solution. I mean, it's like आपने एक हम कहते हैं ना कि retribution का एक यहाँ पर हम लोग देखते हैं कि एक death sentence दे दिया and you feel that your responsibility is not over. Police officials feel now since they have got the culprit and now they have punished the culprit, the responsibility over. But the responsibility does not end there. We have to ensure that in every case, like a case that has happened with a minor or a case in which a person is talking about the accused is a politician or the accused is a very higher officer.
Away from that story now, on to news from the city of Mumbai. Mega Mirror now exclusive. We follow Shiv Sena youth leader Aditya Thackeray as he reviews the road construction across the city of Mumbai. The 26-year-old politician has been travelling across the city talking to contractors and workers on the progress so far. Thackeray visited 10 spots including Gateway of India, Churchgate Station, Tardeo and Shivaji Park to take an update on the road work repair so far. Disha Shah gets us exclusive details.
It's 1 a.m. in the night and the Shiv Sena Yuva Chief Aditya Thackeray is out on the streets to check on the progress of the pre-monsoon road repair work, and this is of course the second spot, the second place that he has visited this week. He has targeted South Mumbai areas starting from Gateway of India and right up to the last spot, that is the Shiv Sena Bhavan in Dadar. Of course, he has assured that the citizens in the city of Mumbai will not have to face pothole-riddled roads, and as you can see, of course, the work also, the road repair work is going on in full swing, at least at this point in time, because he says that this is the only time available for the workers to work. Of course, we know for the fact that the ground reality at this point is very different. Only 34% of the pre-monsoon road repair work is done. And lastly, BMC's mayor, Mumbai Mayor Vishwanath Mahadeshwar says that if any contractors, if they fail to meet the deadline, then legal action will be taken against them. This is Disha Shah for Mirror Now. The monsoon is just a month away now, and we know for the fact that this year around, do you see that there's a lot of progress in the road repair work compared to the last year, because this time we have seen a lot of issues that have cropped up. I mean, contractors have refused to work, not working, lack of raw material. There are a lot many issues, but what do you think, is Mumbai rain ready for this year?
As you firstly said, monsoon is a month away. I really hope it is a month away, because we do not want a year reeling in drought again, because our farmers suffer, the entire state suffer. And yes, about monsoons, of course, I will not lie, as we've never lied before. I'm not saying all potholes will vanish overnight. There are 16 agencies working in Mumbai on roads and various other things. But whatever the works have been taken up in the last 5 years and this year itself, if you see all those roads that have been resurfaced or relaid, they are pothole free. A lot of junctions, for example, a lot of pothole prone junctions earlier, like Worli Naka, Juhu JVPD junction, Mahim Church junction that had potholes earlier, they are pothole free. Similarly, the roads taken up right now, you can see there's progress in work. We went to western suburbs day before yesterday. Today we've come here in the city, and maybe tomorrow day after go to the eastern suburbs to check the progress with the engineers, with the mayor, leader of the house. We're seeing the progress, we're seeing the hurdles, hearing firsthand from them what they're facing in terms of work. And of course, one of the most important hurdles we're facing right now is the lack of raw materials, because the quarries have been banned. We've appealed to the Chief Minister to help us through that, because now the decision is at his level. We face two cases. One is an affidavit in the court where we have to commit a certain number of roads to be finished. The other is the NGT, which has banned the quarries. So we've requested the Chief Minister that till 31st of May, we need the quarries to be working so that the raw materials are in place, post which we can shift. The other issue about Mumbai is, of course, floods. But if you see over the last 4-5 years, Mumbai has moved from flooding over 2-3 days like other cities have, to something which is called waterlogging for 10 minutes and not beyond knee level. Because of the geography of Mumbai, many areas are under sea level. High tides and heavy rains, when they coincide, we'll have waterlogging. But because of the Brimstone project, which is at Hind Mata, which is Britannia, Love Grove, Irla, and now Gazdarband, which will cover Juhu, Andheri, Bandra West, Santa Cruz area, we have the capacity of throwing out 36,000 litres of water per second. So the pumping stations will help Mumbai to be flood-free.
And lastly, we know for the fact that every year extensions after extensions has been given, to the contractors, to the workers. After 15th of May, the contractors, workers, they don't finish the trenching work. Is there any penalty for the contractors?
See, of course, there will be penalties. There will be questions asked and investigations carried out. But also, there's a practical difficulty even in road works. A couple of people say that we need longer stretches to do work. The permission from the traffic police is only about 200 meters. So to cover up time within that, if a larger stretch is dug up, it's done faster. 200 meters is a short stretch to be done, and therefore that's where the timing issue happens. But our plan is to complete as many roads as possible.
This time around, any special provisions to address the citizens' complaints, and within what time the citizens' complaints will be addressed by the BMC?
As I said, I will not lie today also, potholes cannot go overnight. There are many other agencies working with us. Whatever roads have been taken up for resurfacing, renovation, all those roads will be pothole free. A lot many roads have come up through the complaints which were heard from the citizens last year. Those roads have been taken up.
On to another story now. Bombay High Court goes tough on the BMC and the Maharashtra Chamber of Housing Industry, also called as MCHI, granting no extension after the 30th of June this year to implement measures for pollution control at their waste disposal facilities. My colleague Disha Shah gets us more details.
Absolutely, the High Court today denied permission to both the BMC as well as MCHI, that's Maharashtra Chamber of Housing Industry, that no extension will be given to both the bodies to implement waste disposal measures both at Deonar as well as Mulund dumping ground. Just for our viewers, last year in 2016, the High Court had put a ban on the new constructions in the city of Mumbai and had asked BMC to not grant new permissions and for the builders to not construct new projects because of the frequent fire at the Deonar dumping ground, and had set a deadline that till 30th June 2017 the BMC has to come up with results, with progress as to and waste disposal measures. But on ground the reality seems to be really different. The waste to energy plant, the BMC BMC has asked that it will take 3 more years to set up, which will convert the waste scientifically, which will process the waste scientifically. In fact, the builders and the BMC just last month had urged that to lift the stay on this ban and to allow BMC to grant permissions. However, High Court very categorically said today that no permissions and no extension will be given. Enough time had been given to the BMC, but now the High Court wants just results, progress and proof, and the next hearing on this will take place next week. This is Isha Shah for Mirror Now.
Also on the show, while Maharashtra faces a severe drought situation, netas in the state continue to splurge. A 16-member delegation, including 2 ministers, legislators and presiding officers of the Maharashtra legislature, have left a 14-day study tour. Now, the study tour will go to Australia, New Zealand and Singapore. Each member will incur a cost of more than 6 lakh rupees towards airfare and accommodation. Now, the state legislature is expected to incur the cost of more than 30 lakh rupees.
The Prime Minister must recall his ministers immediately. They can go later if they want. And money is not an issue at all. A state of Maharashtra can easily afford the cost of 6 lakh per person or whatever. It's a timing. You left the state in a dire strait. The whole state is agitating. Farmers are continuing to commit suicide. What message are you sending to those farmers that the Agriculture Minister and Food and Civil Supply Minister has gone on a junket to destinations?
This is not a travel junket. This is a parliamentary committee of the Commonwealth that every year ensures that it invites legislators from different political parties. So the representation is from Congress, from NCP, from BJP, from Shiv Sena, and all these parties are invited to attend. There is no money to be borne by the exchequer, and it is for obviously better dialogue and better coordination of how systems should function. I don't think there is any need to correlate this with agrarian crisis. We understand our responsibility.
That's a wrap on the news here on Mirror Now. Stay with us for more news and updates.